Now, coming up next, it gives me very great pleasure to make welcome our distinguished guest of honor today. You know, he's been described as a round peg in a round hole, and I like to call him a colossus of digital innovation. He's an epitome of visionary leadership. He breathes, eats, lives innovation. He's a man whose excellent and exemplary leadership has been instrumental in nurturing African startups and fostering innovation across Africa. And of course, you know that when something happens in Africa, it does have a ripple effect on the world. So this man is a game changer. Please join me for the goodwill message today at the third edition of the Zenith Bank Tech Fair, the Honorable Minister of Communication, Innovation, and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani. Give him a resounding applause. It is such an honor to have him here today. He'll be delivering the goodwill message today. We're truly delighted to have you here, Honorable Minister. We look forward to hearing from you, knowing that you are innovation in person. Please give him a round of applause as he approaches the stage. Thank you.
The chairman and founder, Zenith Bank PLC, Mr. Jimovia, the group managing director and CEO, Dr. Ebenezer Onyeagu, the deputy managing director, Dame Dr. Adaura Umeoji, our very keynote speaker today, Mr. Chris Lu, the managing director of Huawei, Nigeria, the very distinguished speakers, all executives and senior management of Zenith Bank, of course, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I think I have a simple slide to use for my keynote. If it's hot and I have a flicker, I'd like to go with it. I've tagged my keynote today, Disruptive Technology, Artificial Intelligence, and Economic Growth. I'm pretty sure you will agree with me that as a representative of government, one thing that is extremely important to government, not just in Nigeria, but all over the world, is the issue of economic growth and development. But of course, even to you, the audience, every one of us, the issue of economic growth and development is absolutely important in everything we do. When we prioritize economic growth and development, businesses and companies like Zenith Bank will do extremely well, which means when they do well, they will create job opportunities, but also add significant value to our society as well. When we prioritize economic growth, individuals like you and I will have a better quality of life because this is the key driver for it. When we prioritize economic growth, the government will be able to access resources that is required to be able to help provide public goods and services. And this is why I thought I'll start by showing the basics of economic growth and development. So when we talk about real growth in any society, the typical and traditional path to thinking of growth is to increase the factors of production that goes into any economy. Because for you to see real growth in society, you want superior outputs and outcomes. And of course, the traditional way of doing this will be to increase the flow of capital that is available in the economy, perhaps consider increasing access to land, or perhaps labor. We can increase labor. But there's a challenge with this. There's just a limit to how you can increase the output that you get by merely just increasing these basic factors of production. But there's a basic economics for those who studied economics, which has been around with us for a long time, which is called the Cobb-Douglas production function. And it's very simple. It says if you bring two countries with similar resources together, the one that is going to turn up superior is the one that prioritizes what we call technical efficiency. And one key way of driving technical efficiency is the prioritization of innovation and technology. So it is not by accident that you have a Zenith Bank, which is a leading bank in the country, that takes technology extremely seriously. You know, the chairman is, in the startup world where I come from, we consider the chairman a member of our ecosystem because he's invested significantly in the startup ecosystem. So it is not by accident. It is also not by accident that a significant organization like Zenith Bank is actually sponsoring this event. And this is why I think all the executives of Zenith Bank should remain seated, and each and every one of us should stand up and give them a round of applause for their contribution to our economy. Let's do it. A proper round of applause. Chairman, please remain seated, sir. This is for you. Thank you so much for all you've done. And if you struggle to understand why technology is significant, I can take you to my next slide. We've seen 4 critical industrial revolutions over the years. And nations that have been able to benefit from this, but also prosper, are those that have prioritized technology and innovation. If you look at the first industrial revolution, everything changed for humanity when we started seeing mechanization, steam power, but also even loom technologies as well. In countries like the US, where these technologies were mainstream, it was a lot easier to move goods and services from one location to the other. And by being able to move goods around, every part of the nation became exposed to opportunity for development. Those countries and continents that did not get the chance to participate in Industry 1.0 struggled. Then you see Industry 2.0, which led us to mass production, again, which was something that was driven by technology. Everything on you today is probably been mass produced. Imagine the world before Industry 2.0, where everything had to be made by artisans. Of course, there's value in using things from artisans. And a good example is what I'm wearing today. When what I'm wearing today was being produced by artisans, it wasn't commonplace. Because the process it took was longer, the cost was longer. But today, Nigeria is one of the few countries in Africa where we have our traditional wear as formal clothing. And this is because technology now allows us to mass produce what we're wearing. And it's the same for everything you find on you, whether it's the toothpaste you've used at home today, the wristwatch you're wearing, the phone you take around. Mass production gave humanity the opportunity to be able to have these things in large quantity. Then when you move to Industry 3.0, technology came again and saved humanity. Where most of the things we did were not automated, even though we had the machines and the technologies in the first 2 industrial revolutions. Industry 3.0 gave us the opportunity to automate the things that we do, which meant nations and humanity could become a lot more productive. And that changed the game significantly. Of course, some countries and nations are still just catching up with Industry 3.0. But humanity did not stop there. And we're now at a time where we live in Industry 4.0, the 4th industrial revolution. The 4th industrial revolution is quite unique because this is the revolution that brings the cyber-physical systems to existence, which means the cyber non-physical world can now connect with the physical world. And by being able to do this, it means humanity can do much more than we can actually imagine. And if you're struggling to understand why Industry 4.0 is important, I'll take you on my next slide. The technologies that are driving Industry 4.0 brings together the fusion of technologies that blurs the line between physical and non-physical. It sounds futuristic, but it's already where we are today. So the actual technology, everything you're sitting on, the phone you use, the wristwatch you use, is now being connected to the virtual world, which means you can do things in the present that can also link you to the future. This is what's unique about Industry 4.0. And if you look at the way Industry 4.0 is moving, there are 3 critical elements of it, which is the velocity, the scope, and the systemic impacts that they bring. The velocity is the speed at which the technologies on that fourth industrial revolution is one, developing, but also the speed at which they are permeating into everything we do. So there's hardly anything we do today which this set of technologies have not already penetrated. The second thing is the scope. The scope is so wide that unlike the third industrial revolution, fourth industrial revolution, again, reaches and covers everything we do. Whether you talk about education, or you talk about transportation, you talk about agriculture, or you even talk about public health delivery. Fourth industrial revolution and the set of technologies that are driving it touches on literally everything we do as people. And that's why the third point is also important. Because if this technology is able to permeate our lives, if it covers everything we do, the implication is that it has a significant chance of changing systems. And we've already seen this. It's changed systems between collaborations and relationship between leaders and the people they are leading, between managers and their team members, between organizations and the people they serve. The fourth industrial revolution is not just yet another revolution with a set of technology. It's a revolution that is here to change our lives better. And as you can see from the screen, some of the key characteristics is the fact that this technology connects billions of people. I used to use a very simple example. If you finish your university education before 2002, there's a high chance that you can't connect with most of your classmates or schoolmates, right? For the OGs in the room, I'm sure you can recognize that. If you finish your university or even secondary school, whatever, after 2002, it's going to be a choice for you not to connect with your classmates or schoolmates because you can find a significant number of them. That's the power of the current revolution we live in. The processing power as well. So for most of the people that are scared of this technology, which I'll talk about when I get to the slide on artificial intelligence, this technology has the ability to be able to think way faster than we can because of its ability to store significant amounts of data, but also process them as well. I usually give a very simple example. If I give you the data set of all the kids that have been given birth to in Nigeria from independence till date, what will you do with it? There's a high chance that you won't do anything with it. But if I give that same data set to machines, to computer, it can be processed and patterns can be matched, and it can actually tell us the real fact about what sort of kids we give birth to. If we take it further into their DNA, we can understand way much more than any medical doctor can figure out. This is the power of these technologies. And I've talked about the storage capacity as well. But also, I think the part that is important is unlimited access to knowledge. There used to be a time for you to be an engineer, for you to be knowledgeable about a subject, you have to go to some of the best academic institutions in the world. Today, that's not the reality. That's changed totally. On your mobile phone, in a room somewhere in my village in Abeokuta, you can have the same access to the same set of knowledge as someone that is at MIT or Harvard. The question would just be whether you have the creative confidence to apply that knowledge. It's not going to be whether you have access to the knowledge. And you can see the expression of this technology in so many ways. I'm not going to talk through all of them. These technologies are popping up in mobile devices, cloud computing, augmented reality, and so many of these other areas. And there are key three parts to them. The first part is the digitization and integration of value chains. These technologies now allow the value chain of industries and businesses to be a lot more integrated. So the Zenith Bank, for instance, can have all its suppliers, all its partners seamlessly integrated to provide services to you. From those that help with opening bank accounts, from the organizations who print the cards that you use, and mostly these cards can be distributed to you without them even getting to the bank as well, but everything can be integrated. So you have systems being disrupted in that manner. The second thing is digitization of products and services. Again, you've seen how banking is now moving to digital, where we are projecting that in a few years' time, you may not have to go to bank halls to be able to do your services. I think today you can actually do a significant portion of that. So there's still behavioral change that we need to change to limit people going into banking spaces. A lot of the products we consume are now becoming digital. And thirdly, of course, is that digital business models and customers are popping up. But we can't talk about this without talking about artificial intelligence and the unprecedented power that it has, because I think this is the core and the future of this set of technologies. Again, I won't go through everything on the screen, but the fact that we can now process significant amounts of data in ways that we've never been able to before means the machines can think for us way much more than we can think. And that's what artificial intelligence is all about. If you want to explain it to a child, it's a bit scary, but it's simply saying you're teaching a machine to think like human. Don't be scared. There are ways in which we can manage it. But that's simply what AI is all about. You teach a machine to be able to think like human. But the extra to artificial intelligence is that it can process, it can store data, and use data the way we can't, which means this phenomenon gives us a unique opportunity to be able to do things that we've never been able to do before. As a nation, we can use AI to enhance productivity. We can start to think of smart infrastructure, which are infrastructure that we don't just use, but they collect data sets and teach us how to make them better. We can use AI to create jobs. This afternoon, the first set of 100 artificial intelligence jobs in Nigeria is going to be launched open in Ikorodu, of all places. 100 AI jobs. And we expect to create more of those. There's a local startup that has created a company that is now hiring Nigerians to provide opportunities for them in artificial intelligence significantly. We can use AI to diversify our economy and much more. So what's the government doing about this? Our agenda is, since I've been in office, we've prioritized artificial intelligence, and the first thing we did was to understand that we've not invested significant in AI before I got into office, but we know for certain that there's absolutely no top academic institution in the world where you don't have a Nigerian. So we give AI the assignment to help us find them. We downloaded all the academic publications in artificial intelligence in the world, all of them. Then we use a library for Nigerian name to train the machine and say, sift through these thousands of publications and find names that look like Nigerian names. And we're able to find over 6,000 world-class researchers of Nigerian descent working in artificial intelligence. So thank you. So this has been the foundation for what we're building, where we're now reimagining the artificial intelligence strategy for Nigeria. We're having clarity in terms of how this technology is going to help Nigeria to do better, but also how we have to protect Nigeria from the vices of AI. So that's the first thing we did. The second thing we're doing, like I said, is building a global AI workforce from Nigeria. So my team and I were actively supporting any company that wants to prioritize creating AI jobs locally. And you can say that we have the expertise. Within the artificial intelligence ecosystem, there's something that is called annotation and labeling. Even though these computers can do what they do, humans still need to teach them everything we want them to know. And this is something that requires a lot of labor. So we want Nigeria to be the biggest destination for AI annotation and labeling in the world. And that's why that job is being launched today, and government is promoting this significantly. The third thing we're doing is we want to be a global leader in artificial intelligence in the next 4 years. But we're focusing on something that is called data inclusion. Again, because we've not invested significantly, it's difficult for us to be a leader, but we've identified a gap. Data inclusion in artificial intelligence means that machines can only think based on the data you fed them. But because AI phenomenon has been built in the West, most of the data sets that they've given to these things are very skilled. There was a case in the UK where artificial intelligence was asked to produce an image of a black person, and it created an image of a monkey, because the data set have not been trained. So for most of you guys who have been seeing pictures of good-looking black people that were created by AI in the last couple of months, that was a response to that issue. So there's more investment in ensuring that the data set that is feeding AI represents the world. And we believe that the best set of countries that can drive this phenomenon are global south countries. Because the problem of inclusion in AI data set is our problem. The reason why AI is not smart enough is that most of our history and what we know about ourselves are not connected. And if they're not connected, AI cannot use it. So today, Nigeria would like to be a global leader in AI data set inclusion. And finally, is that we've started funding the application of artificial intelligence in multiple sectors. One of the things I did when I came into office was to launch a research scheme to fund 45 academic to industry projects in AI. So what we're doing is finding academic researchers who can partner with global researchers to work with local companies to ensure that we can apply AI. We got over 2,000 applications, which closed a few days ago. And we're going to be releasing in mid-December the 45 that we've selected. Also later this week, we will be launching another program that is looking for technology application, particularly artificial intelligence included, but also blockchain as well, in the agriculture space. So we want to fund the demonstration of 10 AI, blockchain, but also UAV technologies in agriculture. This is what we've been doing. But finally, we need to understand, Chairman, and this is not me coming to ask you for money, but painting that we have a responsibility to understand that the application and development of AI is not something that has to be done by government alone. And even when companies like Zenith Bank are thinking about artificial intelligence, while it is important that you think of it in the context of your business, AI becomes more powerful and useful when we prioritize it as a society. When it's used in education, if it's used in transportation, it helps development that allow companies like Zenith to thrive and do better. And this is why, as a nation, for us to plug the gap that exists at the minute, we are launching an AI fund where government and private sector will put money together to accelerate the development of artificial intelligence in Nigeria. Nigeria is not going to be the last when it comes to this phenomenon. We believe in the next 3 to 4 years, Nigeria will be a global leader in artificial intelligence. And that's why I believe that this gathering is important for every young person that is in the room today. Do not consider this event another exciting event where you come, listen to fancy talks. Consider this the beginning of the future that you have to be part of. The world and the Nigeria that we need to see is our collective responsibility. It is a Nigeria where technology gives us the opportunity to create tremendous value. And this is why we have to be grateful for events of this nature. Thank you so much, Zenith Bank, for the fantastic work. Thank you.